now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. Welcome, you guys. What you don't know is that we just did about a minute and a half of Lady Gaga's Abracadabra a cappella, and we thought it would be really funny. So right before we said hello, Stephanie said that's how we should have started the episode, which would just be going, by a horse head, by a lady in red. And Stephanie is just lyrical dancing.
I was interpretive dancing.
You
know what I cannot get, though? The cadence of the abracadabra part.
The abracadabra.
That every single time I'm like,
just the symbol. We are the Good Bad Advice Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
We give unsolicited advice to people in the news each week, and we're really excited this week because we're celebrating daddies.
Did I ever tell you my story of that? When I was at Chick-fil-A? Oh my gosh, last Father's Day.
Wait, I love a story that's like, wait, did I tell you about what happened at Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Like there's such, that's the beginning of a lot of stories.
Last Father's Day, I'm at a Chick-fil-A drive-thru with my friend Talia. We're going through, we're just getting ice cream cones on our way back to the office.
Okay.
They're waiting for our ice cream cones. And this guy, who's probably like 40 years old, Polynesian, like is working the drive-thru, is like,
you didn't hear my joke.
I did hear it.
Okay.
He's kind of like leaning against the car.
On yours?
Of Talia. So I'm in the passenger seat. Talia's in the driver. And he's like, it was a Friday. He goes, oh, you guys got any fun weekend plans? And Talia's like, oh, yeah, just excited for the weekend. He goes, you going to celebrate Daddy?
You've never wanted to say yes and put the hair behind your ear faster. Yes.
I literally did not know what to say. I just turned straight forward because I was like, if I start laughing, Talia will not be able to recuperate this moment. Totally. So I was like, right. So I just stare forward like I heard nothing. And Talia's like, oh, yeah. He's like, here's your cones. And he hands us the ice cream cones.
He says, here's your cones. Now open your mouth like a good girl. And then he just shoves the cone into your mouth.
So the second we drove away, I was like, what? What? Like, I screamed. I could not recover for like 3 days.
It's such a bold thing to be like, what do you call your dad? Dad,
Faja.
Right? Oh, Faja. Okay. Yeah, I'm dad. If he's nasty, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know, like I would never speak daddy.
Faja Kevin.
But daddy is such an interesting title for people who organically in their 30s still call their dad daddy.
You gonna celebrate daddy?
You gonna celebrate daddy? No. Can you imagine if I feel like I should start calling Steven daddy for this week for Father's Day and just see how long.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, daddy.
I mean, it's Pride Month, so why not?
Someone was like, oh, are you doing Pride today? Because it's like the parade and everything. I was like, no. One, it's outside. And two, I'm not interested.
I don't even like a parade.
I don't like parades.
Did we go over this last week?
We did. I think we talked about parades I would much rather watch from home. Macy's Thanksgiving at home with like a waffle.
We're nothing if not consistent.
Yeah, no. We're standard. Okay, and just to correct in case there was a misnomer, I'm not struggling at my job. I don't know how it got back to me from multiple sources. Like, ooh, girl, you struggling a lot at work. I'm like, no, I'm not struggling at work.
No, the point was you're not struggling.
The point was I'm thriving, and I had all these fire outfits. Oh, but this is why I only did one outfit of the day.
Maybe it was the outfits.
Maybe it was
the
outfits.
Like, and they're like, Chase is struggling to find an outfit for court.
Yeah, maybe that's where it got twisted. No, I only did one outfit of the day because our Instagram account is linked to my post to my Facebook. And I did not realize that. And so when I write outfit of the day, I did OOTD, like promise. Now say something nice. I had, without exaggeration, maybe 2 or 3 dozen people.
All of your mom's friends.
My mom's friends, people from 3 wards ago. Or I'd be like, you do look handsome. Okay, I'll say something nice. I think that's a good color on you. Like, not realizing that this was a bit from our episode.
No, and I did
you
think
can't
that
write them back and be like,
Oh,
hey,
so this
JK,
is actually a
this
bit.
was
Listen
actually
to
a
my
bit
podcast.
from my podcast. I didn't realize like this wasn't for you, is what I'm saying. So I couldn't
Yeah.
say anything. I don't know how to unsync it. I looked online, but then I got distracted with buying Labubu's, which we need to talk about. So,
La boo boo
La
baby.
Labubu.
Let me see your Labubu. I haven't seen one up close before.
So first off, this is what a Labubu is, okay? Now a Labubu.
I thought they were bigger.
That's what she said. So they are from China, and it's from Chinese folklore, and it's from this artist that had basically created this lore of these monsters derivative of where the wild things are, okay? And they're part of Pop Mart, which is a company out of China in which they do blind boxes. And so this is like the Monster Macaron series. And then they have like the Have a Seat, and they have a, don't make him creepily. Stephanie is moving his head to just creepily stare at me. Yeah, do it to the camera. Spook Mickey. Anyway, so
you're the one who bought this creepy thing.
What?
This creepy little monster.
Oh no, I didn't just buy one. And here's the thing is that in each series, there's a secret. 1 out of 72 is a secret one. And there is a black one with rainbow teeth, rainbow nails, and rainbow eyes that I really want. So anyways, I buy one for me, one for Molly last week or 2 weeks ago, and we open them up. Fine. I put mine on my boxing bag.
I'll be honest, they're softer than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, they're pretty good quality.
Yeah.
Like they're $20. Okay, well don't bang his head open. All of a sudden he just opens
these
up.
are hard. These are.
No, it's like good quality.
The feet are hard. Yeah.
So we then are like, man, I want to get some others, but I really just want to play the game. Like they created the addiction because you can't just go to a Pop Mart and buy.
Yeah.
You have to wait for the drop online. And how the drop online is that you hit the pop now, then you go down to the character, and then you just basically have to be swiping over to see if a box is open that you can then click.
Yeah. And for our listeners, how much is one of these?
Okay, so retail $21.99.
Resell.
If you're gonna do so, here's where things went dicey because it's a resale market. They're very Beanie Boo-esque. Okay. And no, that's my voice. The voice from is like. So when I have him in the car driving,
Labubu voice.
Yeah, my Labubu voice is not. He's not Teletubby. He's like Gremlin, and so I have him in my car while I'm driving because he's on my boxing bag. So whenever I'm like driving now, and I see him, I just see him. Like he has road rage, like I have road rage. But I just imagine him as this character, and he's the grape version.
That actually reminds
so
me.
I just imagine him sitting there eating a bunch of grapes and like throwing stuff. I don't know. I have
He has a whole persona.
A full personality.
The other week, I was staring off into the distance in our bedroom, and Traven goes,
That's such a wild event
I
to
was
be
disassociating,
recounting. I was just disassociating the bedroom.
Yeah.
My eyes wandered off into the light.
No, and Traven goes, what are you staring at? I'm like, my sleep demon. And he's like, well, tell Steve. And I'm like, that's not his name. Traven goes, what's his name? And I go,
Our partners are so lucky to have us.
no, because
like it's just a level of comedy
the
that
frickin' frack that you and I would get up to.
Yes.
If we were a couple, it would just be voices all the time.
It would be voices. It would be studied.
Yeah.
Like the government suddenly would knock on our door and say, we've been watching and we have questions.
I actually think our inside jokes would get too niche.
1,000%. We wouldn't be allowed in public. We'd like have to go to weird art galleries to just like exist in a public space. Okay, so then there's this app called Whatnot, and this was the journey that I went on. So then Whatnot on Friday, I download, and they are auctioning. So people are buying them and then reselling them.
Okay.
Auction is going for around between $50 and $90 Labubu.
Okay.
Now, for the record, the most I ever spent on Labubu was $60.
Okay.
That auction night, though, I did end up spending several $100s because I just got wrapped up in the auction and my sleeping pill was on. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I got it.
Oh, I got it.
And at one point, like, Steven was asleep next to me. And so I was like, oh, yes. And he's like, what? I was like, I got one. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, just go back to bed. And because I didn't want to have to tell him, No, I just paid $63 for a Labubu that retails for $21 or $27.
Do you know what kind it is?
So some
or
of
are they
them
blind
I do.
boxes?
So this is what actually makes the environment kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like, okay, like I'm the seller, right? Like, okay, all right, and it's sudden death. So it says, okay, it's gonna go bid for, and then it's like 8 seconds of bidding. So it's just like bid, and that's how they drive the bid up. Because if you just think you're swiping on $24. By the time you end up completing the swipe, 11,000 other people have swiped, and so suddenly you're paying $65.
Oh.
Then I'm trying to get them lower so that I can recoup some of my averaged money. This was how I got into debt. And this is how I'll never financially recover from Labubu.
Labubu debt.
Yeah. And so, but
Labu
then
debt.
they're like, oh, okay, great. They come in boxes of 6. And so they're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, Stephanie, you're the winner. What box number do you want? She types in 3. And then you see rip or ship. Do you want us to rip it open and show you what you got? Or do you want us to ship it? And everyone's like, rip. Because everyone's watching didn't get it. The hundreds of people that are on these apps, which I'm not joking. There's hundreds of people watching, cheering you on. And so you feel very pressured to do rip. So I ripped my first 4. Didn't get a secret, but got multiple ones that I'd wanted and that I could give away. And they come in a box. So it opens the box and it has a card in there. So they just showed you the card, but the actual package where he comes in stays secret. Yeah. So that way I could give them to friends, and I'll give one to you. You can have a Labubu. But then
if you could find a yellow one for me, thanks.
Multiple. There's QQ, there's Baby, there's Sunshine.
Not you knowing the Latin terms.
I'm like, anyway, if you think about Baba's story, the origin,
so his
a refugee
backstory, actually,
from the planet
his mom left
Kalankidol.
him.
Yeah, no, this is my Dungeon and Dragon. Like, I get it. This is my this is my anime. This is my Beanie Boo that I get. This is my
Dungeon and Dragon.
It's true.
Wait, here's the actual thing.
Wait,
we would be such a fun Dungeon and Dragon.
Oh, are you kidding? Wait, it's like, did you see? I have to show you this one. It was really funny, where it's that one friend who shows up to D&D, and it's like, and then what is down in the tunnel? And he's like, a baby. And they're like, oh my God, Charles, a baby. What a baby. He's like, I said a baby. And then like, it's the person that like throws the narrative the whole time with something. That'd be you and me.
It's your Labubu.
That
your
is our
Labubu.
Whose Line Is It Anyway? Us. Like that's, I just picture him like that. Anyways, so I spend $400 on these stupid things. I panic.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just blew all that money. I'm like trying to cancel the credit card. It won't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do a fraud alert because I did it. The fraud is me. Mm-hmm. So I'm on TikTok, and this lady has a live on a Labubu Live, because that's my entire feed. It's my entire personality this weekend. And she says, hey, hop over to my Instagram because I'm going to get banned from TikTok. And whenever someone says that, like on a live, I'm immediately over on Instagram. Yeah. I do not care if they're hawking whatever else. I'm like, tell me the tea, whatever. Yeah. So she gets there, it says, so I have a hack for PopMart, where you can click on my Excel spreadsheet, and I have embedded all of the individual links for if you were to like switch a page. So like if you're on the Pop now and you're hitting a box, every time you hit over, it's actually technically a different skewed box. Oh. She had the links for all the skewed boxes. So when it would go live, you could just click her links and basically jump the line. Yeah. You're limited to 6 a person per account. So I'm creating dummy accounts to prepare for this. So then, and because you're just paying retail price for them. So then last night I was able to get 18 more, but at retail price. The fact that you just said that so casually, and I was able to get 18 more. Yeah, because here's my thing now. Because I had to buy it like under Steven's profile, my law firm profile, whatever. Because then if I resell them or a portion of them for just $30 or $40, then I creep the money, and then that $400 is not so bad. Oh yeah, totally. So I've fixed it. Yeah. I financially fixed my problem. I got confirmation driving here that they've shipped from PopMart, which makes me very excited. So next time we're here, hopefully, it may not be this week because it's coming from China, maybe like in 2 weeks, but we will do a Labubu opening on one of the episodes, and it could be your Labubu. And because I got some that are blind too. We both can do a complete blind. Fun. It is. I don't know why. The blind boxes are fun. So fun. I love Cry Girl blind box now. I'm like into that. I'm into just the concept of you don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. And you're hoping to get something else. And just that thrill. I tried to get Bailey to get some while we were in California. And she's like,
I will only
Labubus
get
or blind boxes?
just blind boxes.
Okay.
She's like, I will only get a blind box if I want every single thing on there. And I'm like,
That's so wise.
you're such a rational
That's so
queen.
rational. I could never.
I can't relate.
I'm the person. Now, someone is asking me, oh, how did Labubus become famous? And as all things, they became famous because of Rihanna. And she had a Labubu clipped to her bag.
Oh.
And then Lisa from
Blackpink,
she had one. LeBron James, like multiple basketball and NBA players have been wearing Labubus on their belts. And so I'm kind of like, oh, it is just like this massive craze. It is kind of fun to be like a part of it.
If you told me 2 years ago that people were wearing little stuffed animals hooked to their belt,
I would have been like, I'm sure
I would have
that's going to
burned
happen.
you at the stake for being a witch.
No, I would have totally been like, that's likely because we're insane.
Yeah.
Like we're only becoming more and more insane.
And
so
you
to
know
guess
what,
the future thing, we'll be having like giant jewels hanging from our nose, like chandelier earrings, but from a nose piercing. That'll be the newest thing.
Don't they already do that in Indian culture where it's like I
am very careful to. I don't know. I respect all cultures and people. I've been trained. So I don't say something inappropriate. Know what you're talking about. I respect the freedoms of all peoples.
Yeah.
Okay, but how was your week?
Wait, we got off track of Father's Day.
Oh, yes, we have to talk Father's Day, and then we have to come to these at some point.
Okay, so I am going to spoil what I got Kevin for Father's Day.
And you guys, when you're listening to this, just know all of us pale in comparison to this gift. Like,
and
she won for all Father's Day.
That is the reason I am telling all of you, for you to all know that I am better than you. Okay, so, and I am spoiling this because I'm going to give him to him today after we record the episode. So I got this idea a couple years ago, and I wanted to create a custom Lego set of the exterior of Wrigley Field, like the very iconic big red sign exterior. And I was literally emailing like people who had been on Lego Masters, the TV show, being like, hey, can you do this for me? Like, how do I even do this? I then finally decided.
Did any of them respond, by the way?
No. So screw you guys.
Yeah.
Master
Go
builders.
build in your mom's basement.
Yeah, literally. There's even some from Utah, and I was trying to make it happen. Nope, nothing. So then I tried first to do it with ChatGPT, which they were extremely close. Like, to the degree that like it knew exactly what it was supposed to do. It just couldn't like execute fully.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, okay, now that I understand the process, let me find somebody who will just build what is called a studio file. And a studio file is specific to like a Lego building software where you can build your own custom Legos.
So cool.
So found somebody on Fiverr to build a custom set. It took probably 2 weeks for him to build them. I gave him like a few different reference images. Then I had to go on a separate site where you can buy new and used Legos from like various stores across the world. Had to put in my parts list. Then it would sort out who had all of the parts available. I was literally shipping Legos from Slovenia. Like,
because do you
Slovenia,
buy all of their sets?
Singapore, Germany, a few in the US, but you just buy the pieces.
Right, okay.
So, like, I'm buying some new and some, like, refurbished pieces from all over the world. It took 2 months for all of them to get to me. Then he gave me instructions to, like, print out, or, like, a PDF of instructions. So I made a book out of the instructions, like a Lego book, printed using Canva, which was a premium experience. I highly recommend. So I have a full instruction book. And then I have bagged out the Legos. So, like, it's in processional order. And I'm giving it to him today.
I cannot think of a more... Because for those of you that don't know, your dad is a huge Red Sox fan. Cubs fan.
Oops.
Are those two different teams?
Yeah.
But
sorry, he's gay, you guys. It's fine.
But the same sport?
Same sport. Red Sox is Boston.
Oh, Chicago Cubs.
Chicago
Wrigley
Cubs.
Field is in
Yeah,
Chicago.
Wrigley Field is in
Can
Chicago.
we redo that?
Yeah.
Because for those of you that don't know,
Pause.
your dad is a huge Cubs fan.
Exactly.
Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, the
Chicago Cubs who did
Cubs.
the Wrigley Field.
Yeah, go Cubs go.
You know, and if you were, for example, a fan of the Red Sox from
you would like
Boston, you would have liked
Boston.
Fenway Park.
Bingo.
I'm so sorry.
Bingo,
Am I
babe.
on Jeopardy?
You nailed it.
Oh, by the way, I watched the season finale of. Oh no, that's one of my G's.
Okay.
I gotta,
Blah, blah.
okay.
So
put that
anyway,
in the front
and
for
you would think honestly that Lego would have thought of this before. They haven't. And I don't know if that's to do with like it being like a very
I think
famous
it's controlling
exterior.
and also controlling the licensing. I'm sure you bypassed the actual Wrigley Field license, the Cubs license, in doing that, which is why Lego can't do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But if they like, Lego, $1 million idea to partner with like baseball fields and create these like custom sets for the dads in your life. Because man, was it an experience. And not that it matters, because you can't put a price on a perfect gift. But at some point when I was in the middle of the process and I was talking to my coworker Joe about it, he goes, man, you could have just taken him to a game. And I said, shut up.
You're like, listen.
Shut up.
Joe, is it?
Joe?
Keep your mouth. You're going to say
Why
that to
don't
me
you
during
shut-
Pride?
How dare you say that
How
to me
dare
during
that you say that to
Pride
me, of all
month.
people, during Pride?
When I have pride
And then just
in
you,
the Wrigley
just you
Field.
act completely stunned and
Yeah.
walk away.
Actually, what I did say to him is, and you know what you are? A hater at your core. Which is amazing because he could not be nicer and like more lovely and pleasant. Anyway, let's try these
Dang it,
because
what was
I
I
can't
just-
talk more about how
What
like
was I just
amazing I
saying?
am as a daughter.
What was I saying I needed to add it to my GB?
I watched the season finale of, and then you. Anyway,
Dang it. Okay. So I went to Trader Joe's yesterday. I got a bunch of my friends. These are like you made it to summer kit. You passed school with your kids. Those are delicious. I had some of mine
a
yesterday.
root beer float piece.
Root beer floats, but they're root beer float sandwich cookies with Pop Rocks in there. So you actually do feel like it's a root beer float.
That's crazy. That smells so much like root beer.
And then this is a Trader Joe's s'mores clusters with marshmallows and the things. Okay, wait, I do want one of those because I know how good they are. These are available at Trader Joe's. The root beer, these are root beer float pieces, vanilla sandwich cookie pieces with popping candy, covered in root beer flavored confectionery coating. What do you think?
That is so weirdly like a root beer float.
I don't know how they.
I did not think it was going to hit that hard. That's good.
And the popping candy in it does make you feel like it's
carbonation.
Mm-hmm. I love Trader Joe's so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There is just something about a chocolate covered marshmallow.
Agreed. My mom loves marshmallows, and so I've loved marshmallows all growing up.
Also, Costco has a version of these, but there's caramel in them.
Yes, I have a
Dangerous.
giant. Those ones are really good too.
Thank you so much.
So,
these are delish.
These are just little.
I could see
Congratulations to all
myself
the
eating
parents.
a million of these.
Same. That's why I kept looking at them and being like, "Wait, we have to make sure we do that." Okay, you have some 3 GBs as well.
I will go first because I have less, but I am chewing.
Oh yeah. Well, the only thing that I didn't talk about with my week was we had Steven's grandmother over yesterday, and she wanted to do dinner and a movie. She wanted us to watch one of her favorite movies, Somewhere in Time, which is Christopher Reeves and Jane Seymour.
Okay.
And it was, okay, here's actually the thing. I know Liesl doesn't listen to the podcast, so I can be completely honest. First off, I love Liesl more than life itself. I don't have a living grandma, and so the fact that I get to borrow Steven's is like a huge privilege, honestly.
A win's a win.
And she's Steven's mom who's passed away, her mom. And so we spent most of the night learning about Steven's mom and just learning more about her. And even Steven was like learning some things that he didn't know about her. And it was a really, really lovely night. And she had said, let's do dinner at 4:00 because she's old. And so we were like, slay. And I just had gone to Trader Joe's and got a whole, like, a sampling of one of everything. And was like, you get to pick. This is your menu. It's Trader Joe's menu. So she just picked a bunch of different things and we made them there. It was such a fun night.
Yeah.
Have you seen Somewhere in Time?
No.
Please pause for, or just enjoy this summary. It's whack as hell.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves in like the 70s, maybe 80s when the movie takes place, is a playwright.
Okay.
And it starts off where like they're congratulating him on getting a play that's likely going to go on Broadway. And this elderly woman comes up, class gives him a pocket watch and says, come back to me, and then leaves. The heck? So he then is like, I got to get out of town. I'm in a writer's block a couple of years later. So he then leaves and drives by where she went back to, which was like this inn. Mm-hmm. And then he like goes and stays there and then is feeling connected to this woman who's Jane Seymour's character, the older woman, who was from like 1918. And so he's like, I feel like I have to get back to her, you know? And so he goes to his old college and talks to a physics professor and says, is time travel real? And he's like, yes, actually you can. If you just put your mind in the time that in which you want to travel and you really believe it, then you can be there. Oh, so he records himself saying, it's October 15th, 1918, and you're in the hotel and you love it. It's October 18th. So he then goes to sleep listening to it. Long story long, it works. So he travels back in time, 1918. He meets Jane Seymour's character.
I just didn't know that it was, you just had to think it hard enough.
That's where I think we're all being lazy.
Yeah.
So we could do better as a people. So anyway, he goes back.
You haven't time traveled? You're not just trying hard enough?
Suddenly, no, I'm supposed to be with you. She's not creeped out at all, but also creeped out. Then he shows her the watch, but she hadn't bought the watch yet. It was like a lot of plot holes. And then he goes to pay for something like a couple of days later on a date, and he sees like a 1979 penny. And suddenly it's like 1979, and then boom, he's back in 1986 or whatever. Okay. And how do you think the show would end? That's the kind of pinnacle of, you know, like how movies get to like the apex moment and the conflict we have to resolve it. How do we end that? I think that because old woman McGee,
the ship goes down. Old woman is on the door, holding his hand, being like, hold on.
I'll never let go.
I'll never let go. And then he fades off into existence. And then when she dies later, after having a lovely relationship with another man her whole life, he's the one who's there waiting for her on the stairs.
Exactly.
How did you guess?
Yeah. He comes back, tries to travel again, can't.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
His brain stopped believing, even though he literally knew it could happen.
Yeah.
So he starves himself to death and dies. And then that's how he meets her again in death.
So I was right.
You were actually really, about part that's of why it. I was like, exactly. That level of crazy. Those people in the 1920s, 1910s, Looney Tunes, McGee.
Yeah.
Because he really was like, they can't find him. He goes to that hotel and then they find him and he's just, and they're like, what's wrong with him? He's not eaten in a week. And it's like, but doctor, you can save him. He's like, I don't know. And then slowly fades to black and then opens and it's really white. And then it's old. It's young Jane Seymour. Hi. You know?
That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I know. So the show, wild.
Did he starve to death while he was time traveling? Or did he just like...
No, he time traveled, came back, couldn't time travel anymore, like couldn't get back to her. And so he stayed. Then he just was like, I'll just die and see her in heaven. I don't know. Definitely
bold strategy, Cotton.
A B for the movie, a G for the experience. Go hang out with your grandmas.
Yeah.
Like, they're wild and fun, and I learned so many cool things from her. She just has a really beautiful perspective on life. And it was it was an enjoyable night. It also was over by 7:30 because she had to go to bed.
Oh, I love old people.
Doing an early thing, but then it's like 9:00 and Steve and I are both just kind of like finding ourselves wandering around the kitchen. And I'm like, are you a hungry bear? And he's like, Yeah, we did eat at 4:00.
Yeah.
That was like lunch. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's true. So then we were having some food.
I love a 4:00
Yes.
dinner and like a 9:00 snack tray.
100%. Oh, get me on a snack tray. I'm going to put those Trader Joe's things on a snack tray.
A snack tray with some cut veggies. Oh, my 3 GBs are actually 2 GBs. My first one is I read a book called like Romancing the Duke or something like.
Romancing the Duke by Tessa Dare.
Yep. She is the one that I read her books earlier this year that they're very like Bridgerton romancy, like great banter, but like a nothing burger. Like if you need a palate cleanser for the girly swirlies, then I do think that it's a good one. It's like a 9-hour read or 9-hour Audible listen, but you listen to it on 2x speed so you can get it done in no time. The second one I read was First Time Caller by BK Morrison, I think.
Yeah, I've heard of this book actually.
It was so good.
Okay, what did you like about it?
There was really good banter, and it wasn't like, it didn't feel like insta, like all of a sudden they're like in love. It felt like very gradual with also good tension. Because he's essentially trying to find her a date. And so there's good, like, will they, won't they the entire time.
Okay. So, a good
I loved both of those. I had been in a reading slump, and most of that was due to the fact that I was not prioritizing reading. I was prioritizing Married to Medicine, as I should.
100%.
And so now I'm, like, back on my reading game. So all of my GBs are going to be
B-books.
B-books.
Have you read A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey?
Let me see the cover.
It's not the cover. That's just the trailer cover.
No.
Because it's being made into a movie.
I have not.
Featuring Margot Robbie and Colin Firth. No, Colin Farrell. Which one's the hot one? Farrell?
The one who's Irish?
Yes.
Farrell.
He's the one who there's nudies of him.
Farrell,
there it is.
if you will.
It looks so good. The trailer looks so good to the point that I screenshotted it so that because it's based on a book, I guess.
Oh, I didn't even
it's
know.
like based on the wildly popular blah blah. Okay. My 3 GBs. One, I did go see Lilo and Stitch last week. Here's what I'm going to say about
mixed bags.
Here's what I'm going to say about it. It's classic early 2000s Disney. So like they stay really true, I think, to the Lilo and Stitch origin, both in vibe, in feel, whatever else. Did I fall asleep? Yes.
Okay.
And so was it like captivating the entire time? Never. But was it still like really enjoyable? And if I had young kids, would I for sure take them? 100%.
Yeah.
The little girl who plays Lilo is
a star.
She needs to be on the TV, film, silver screen, all of them. She's really,
I've
really
seen
great.
some interviews of her, and I'm like, wow, baby, you're a star.
No, without question, she was great. Then I've watched Department Q. I'm only a couple episodes in. It's on Netflix. It's very much like Slow Horses.
Okay.
With what's his face?
Gary
Oldman. Where it's kind of like a rogue misfits, but they're solving cold cases.
Okay.
In UK, and a little graphic, like you know how it's those sort of things they're willing to show more blood and whatever. But I think it's pretty dang good.
Okay.
I'm really liking it. I do just want to also shout out. These are some like that I've talked about before, but we're just in a pinnacle time. Top Chef finale is this week.
Cool. I need to watch this season.
Really good season.
Okay.
One of the contestants was interviewed, how is this experience different than you anticipated? And he'd said, in speaking with other people who'd been on previous seasons, it's always really cutthroat between the contestants. He's like, and with us, it hasn't felt cutthroat.
No.
Like we cry when the other person leaves. We're really good friends. We
close.
Stay talking. And you get that sort of like friendship. And it's so beautiful. I won't say who got eliminated, but the person who got eliminated right before the finale, the one that got eliminated this week, Kristen, the host, is like, let's say the person was named Stephanie. It was like, Stephanie, please pack your knives. Like she's so emotional, crying having to eliminate people because they're all just so good. It's very rare that any show I'm happy with whoever wins. On this one, I'm happy with whoever wins.
Wow.
All three could win, and I would be.
I love that.
That makes for just very good viewing.
Yeah.
So I love that. And then I started Love Island. So
I have not started yet, but mostly the first week I'm like, I like to batch about 7 episodes.
Yes, I was going to say. And that is a commitment. If you are on the Love Island train with us, welcome.
Yes.
Choo choo, buckle up.
We will be talking
about it all summer. And, we have to decide when we take our summer break. We should probably decide that after. In a couple weeks. So we could do it then. We could dovetail it then.
We'll see.
Anyways, it is... Here's the thing. I was telling you when we were walking in, that the episode I was just watching this morning, the guy was like, yeah, I'm kind of a goofball. I get that from my dad. Do you see this working out long term between us? Like, that's the kind of conversations that happen all the time. Or she's like, okay, so just a couple of things about me. I love denim. My favorite color is purple. I have a 3-year-old and I love a roller coaster. And they're just like, I'm sorry, you have a baby? You have a kid?
You have a child?
Yeah, it's just so good. I forgot Ariana Madix is actually really good TV.
So good.
Like having her back on the TV, I'm kind of like, okay. And then she was on, the girl, Skinny Confidential podcast, I think.
Yes.
And she was like, she was asked, what's your response to people who are saying, oh my gosh, she's, out working and putting herself out there, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, after the Scandival, she's like, yeah, it's so weird. People are upset that I'm working. She's like, but I was always working. Vanderpump was a job. Being on the shows were jobs. Doing the things were jobs. You just, you want me to go back, but I'm continuing to work.
You know what this is going to be, I know of me, but when people see Schwartz on a different show, so happy to see him. When people saw Sandoval even on Traders, everybody ultimately were like, oh, Sandoval was TV. He's good TV. He was on other shows. No uproar, no nothing. The second Lala, Sheena, Ariana do anything other than what they were doing on Vanderpump Rules,
uproar.
People I'm like, y'all really do just not like women.
Yeah. And I will say,
crazy.
The Valley season 2 is really good, but I just read an article
I have been watching it.
That there's a major shakeup because Janet's refusing to film with anyone else.
What?
And so people are like, great, just get rid of Janet.
Yeah.
And Jason.
I don't need Janet
but Jason's
there, but
kind
Jason
of
he's
such a gem of a man. So the Valley's another really good.
Yeah, but he's not great TV.
No. But the Valley's great TV. Jason is a great guy.
I have been watching the Valley, and it is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
If you like watching 40-year-olds struggle with basic communication.
Yeah, basic communication, financial responsibility, and maturity.
and drinking
alcohol.
Too much.
Yeah, and alcohol. Okay, what we did also watch, both of our G's, if not the G of our
the capital
week,
G,
if not
the capital
month,
good.
2025, the Wicked for Good trailer launched.
And maybe it's time we address the elephant in the room. So, For Good actually was not taken from the Good Bad Advice.
A lot of people were concerned about that.
Yeah, a lot of people were like,
For
conflating
Good,
the two.
Where
Good
have
Bad
I heard
Advice,
this before?
Pink and green, red and blue,
right, okay,
they're
John,
not.
you can have this
Subtle.
one, but on the next one, you need to actually give attribution.
We actually with the blankets did the pink and green first. So.
Right. So I don't know who we call. Apparently, you can't get a hold of him through DMs.
No, when I was at Universal Studios Hollywood, the park,
she was shouting out.
I did walk into the Wicked store and go, take it easy, guys.
She was like, John.
It's not that subtle anymore. But anyway.
But the trailer is out. What's the view count right now? If I were to get to YouTube, the view count on the trailer. I just want to see what percentage this might. Okay, so it's 6.5 million views within 3 days. So I'm 1% of that.
Yeah.
If I'm doing my math, I carry over the 1. Mm-hmm. I'm for sure 65,000 views.
Yes.
That's, I think, conservative.
Mm-hmm.
If you count in all the views. Oh, sorry. The other update.
How many times did you watch it on a phone? How many times did you watch it on a TV?
So Chelsea texted me Wednesday night the trailer. All it said is the trailer. And we knew because of our twin energy, we knew exactly what each other meant. And so I was in the car. I was in the parking lot outside of a Starbucks where Megan and I had met up to go to dance. Yeah. And so I was like, oh my gosh, for good, the trailer's out. Shh. You know, she was like pouring her soul out. And I was like, quiet, ma'am. Something else is important. I'm just kidding. So I put it up and we watched it and we both had like to the point where full body goosebumps, we could see it on each other. Then we kept gasping. Yeah. So then I said, we have to do it again. You have to hold in your gasps. So we rewound it and watched it again without holding gasps. Then I said, okay, now one more time we can rewatch it while we talk about it. So we watched it 3 times in the car, back to back, boom, 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 boom. Then I get home and I kick the door open. Steven is upstairs comping the new album. And I'm like, hey, Steven, hurry, which I look back now and I can see the messaging that I sent, which was emergent. You could see
how that would make Steven want to kill you.
So when he came down the street, he goes, what? I said, it's on. The Wicked for Good trailer's on. And I'm trying to get to
I love Steven so much that he is like so alarmed. Trey would be like, what water bottle do you need me to fill?
No, I know.
Steven has so much patience.
So we got there and I watched it again twice with him on the TV. Yeah. Then I was like, I need to watch it on the big TV. So I went downstairs to our theater room TV and I watched it there just so I could sit there and let it wash over me and cry. Yeah. I now have it just on repeat, the different reaction videos of people watching it on TikTok. And that's what I listen to while I drive anywhere since Wednesday. Yeah. I just love the commentary of it. So we have to talk about it here because it is an absolute tenet of my...
No, it's so
But also,
good.
If anyone's looking for a gift from me, which I know that everyone is, so thank you. The Roots Wicked cardigan collab in like a large. It's sold out everywhere. I can't find it on Poshmark. I can't find it on... No. I can't find it anywhere. So if you can figure out Wicked cardigan, first off, it's Roots, so it's Canadian, which we love. This is the only one I can find. It's why it's in my saved. So you can see it's there, and then the back is that.
Wait, I don't know what I was expecting, but that actually is gorgeous.
Isn't that gorgeous? That's an extra small, and as much as I have been trying to shrink myself, they're just not going to embarrass me in like a child's large. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the trailer. What was your initial, like, what would you say was the moment that you went, like, what was, like, the one that you were like, oh, my gosh?
No, it just, like, started.
The minute she came out, Alphabethrop, I know you're out here. Yeah. Come in before the monkeys get you. Oh, you know, I've been listening to it on repeat. Yeah. And then you see her.
Wait, that was good.
No, thank you. When I tell you I've listened to it 65,000 times.
Somebody riffed or put that over. It sounds like the run in No One Mourns the Wicked. I can't even get into that. And
Steven was pointing out that, all of the songs, Follow the Yellow Brick Road, and popular, like the same cadence. Different songs, the notes, the little musical pop backs and forth. References the original Wizard of Oz throughout the whole piece. I loved it. As soon as it did, should we just listen to it right now?
No.
Are we not allowed?
No, we're not allowed. Okay. We'd have to.
So I should put it in headphones? I just want to listen to it so badly right now, but I'll just have to edit that. Okay, the other part, when Glenda says, and I've had so many friends, and it's her, I will pick up cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it catches me every time. And then she goes, but you're my favorite one. And it's just like this release. Yeah. There's the Dupes. Do you listen to, or Soups, Supes, the guy that does the trailer reviews. It's like all Marvel. It's like millions and millions of followers. Anyways, he's doing it. And it's clear he has like a little theater kid in him because he's like, yeah, let's go. Oh, and he's like crying. I'll post that one because it was so sweet. I just love the trailer. Alphaba looked incredible. I love the mermaid braid. The braids that they did. What is that? It's like a mermaid braid. Boho braid.
It's a boho braid.
She looks sensational.
I think our boho box braids is what it looks like.
It's very Crazy Rich Asians where the butterflies all go and it's this long dramatic train and the colors. And spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Steven
Wicked
was watching
spoiler.
and was like, watching the trailer because he hasn't seen the second part. And so he's like, wait, they get married and then Fiyero cheats on Glenda with Elphaba? And I was like, you have to watch, because I was just remembering that they agree to marry to protect her, knowing that neither of them really wanted to marry each other.
Yeah.
That is such a beautiful part of the story that like I forget. It's just so genius. Okay, spoilers over. If you're coming back, spoilers over. I just forget how beautiful the story and the second act really layers into Wizard of Oz so much that I think like the fact that Madame Morrible's casting the tornado to try to catch Elphaba because Elphaba can fly, and so if she can't be in the skies, then it's easier for her to be on the ground, so then Fiero's team can capture him. And so she does the tornado, but then that's what kills the sister. That's what kills Nessa, and then so
more spoilers.
Yeah, sorry. And then the shoes. No, just kidding. But I cannot wait. It is Endgame for theater kids, and I was never a theater kid, and I loved Endgame, but I think Wicked Part 2 or Wicked for Good will top Endgame for me. Like in a cinematic, the impact, and my stories on Endgame. Like I love Endgame.
And like, are we doing a midnight showing? Are we doing what are we doing?
I mean, I don't know how we don't just rent a theater.
Yeah.
At that point,
honestly, I think we could fill a theater. I'm not.
Oh, I think we could fill a theater twice
Easily.
over. That's not the issue. It's with who. And I need to be able to fill it with people that I can just cry my face off with, who will be like, I need it.
Judgment-free zone.
And I also need it to be like, we're cheering.
Yeah.
We're clapping. We're crying, but we're not singing.
Yeah.
We're doing every other audible expression except trying to do no good deed. No. It's just Cynthia.
I just got like
heartburn,
a chill.
Oh yeah,
that was like so deep in my core. Thinking of Cynthia Riva doing that.
Thinking of her doing that, and then her face singing, "Fiyero, where are you?"
Oh, she's such a good actress. Oh my gosh,
Stephen and I were
I
looking
think I
up
have to actually like separate in my brain that I can't watch it right now.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's why I literally my brain was like, okay, should we just watch the trailer because it's like a it's like a dopamine hit.
I have to put it away in a part of my brain that goes, that doesn't exist, because the fact that I can't see it right now, it like physically upsets me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the fact that it's also such like a beautiful conclusion to her story, where all you're wanting the whole time is for her to have happiness. Mm-hmm. And then knowing that like we're gonna
Don't spoil.
I'm just saying, but knowing like we're gonna watch how it all ends.
Yeah.
And how it ends for everybody almost perfectly.
No, and
it's exactly what they deserve.
Go with somebody who doesn't know the second half, because we went and saw Wicked, the play, with Bailey. And at one point when something is spoiled, she turns to me and goes, and I was like,
I got to spoil some of it to Steven.
Yes.
I was explaining certain parts of it to Steven, and I was like, because, and he was like, and I was like, and then he's like, like he got it, and I was like, exactly. That is the kind of like, I don't know how you do better.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's any story that's
a masterclass in storytelling.
A masterclass in storytelling and story layering and, okay. Other masterclass in storytelling, really, because it has stood the test of time, is Goonies.
Yes.
I loved Goonies Never Die, and they mean it.
You either grew up with Goonies or you're
grew
wrong.
up in an orphanage.
Yeah, or you're wrong. Mm-hmm. Because it was perfection of our childhood.
And what's so cool is that no one's ever tried to F with it. They didn't say, let's do Goonies 2. Let's do a remake of Goonies. They're just keeping it classic.
I will take a remake of Goonies in 40 more years.
Maybe.
I want to be an adult watching it. I mean, like an adult, a more adult than I am now.
40 years would put you at 70. Babe.
Yeah.
Plus, 70 plus.
Well, I'm not making it past 83, so.
That's scary that you knew that.
No.
How did you know that?
I'm manifesting that.
Oh, okay.
I'd like a crisp 83 to 85.
I think I want to be like, I don't want to be inspirational.
I've seen a 96-year-old and I'm not liking what I see.
No.
They are tired.
I don't know. Steven's grandma is like in her 90s, maybe late 80s or something, and she can still do the splits. She's like, yep, every morning I go to the gym at 5:30 and I have my morning crew and I do 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, and then I work on my splits for 20 minutes.
And she's a queen.
Okay, so the 1980s cult classic turns 40 this year.
Yeah.
And I do love, but it's so crazy. It's Josh Brolin. Hello.
No, that
Ke-Huy
one
Quan.
is crazy.
Like, those are just crazy that they were originating from there.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is Steven Spielberg, okay, maybe I'm not standing by this, but I may. Steven Spielberg's best decade was the 80s.
What has Steven Spielberg done recently?
Well, he did
to be fair,
Avatar, right?
I'm not like, is that Steven Spielberg or was that James Cameron?
Let me think. Steven,
Like,
maybe you're right.
Honestly, they're all the same to me when they're in that like upper echelon.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Okay,
I
so
know that Martin Scorsese is different, but like, is he?
Okay, so let me do movies.
Spielberg did Jurassic Park.
Spielberg did Jurassic Park and Jaws, E.T., Indiana Jones. Okay, recent ones would be like Ready Player One, The Fabelmans, the new West Side Story, War of the Worlds. Gosh, that actually is pretty
That is a good one.
Minority Report.
Oh, that's an excellent one.
But he did the original Color Purple, and he did the new Color Purple, I'm pretty sure. Goonies, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones.
Has Spielberg lost his touch? Breaking news.
But then it's
'Cause
like,
you're right,
but he's
like-
doing the new Jurassic World
fair.
Rebirth, the one in 2025. He did the new Indiana Jones, which was not great, but still he did that one in the 2023. He did The Post with Meryl Streep, remember, about breaking the story that the Washington Post did.
Okay.
So I mean, he's freaking Steven Spielberg. I'm so sorry.
Pause.
Did you know who directed? Okay, wait. Why is that saying? It literally has him for Shrek. But there's no possible way Steven Spielberg directed Shrek.
He directed Shrek?
No, it just listed like what he's known for.
Is he
Okay,
in
I'm
Shrek?
not.
I'm so confused.
Okay, no, I'm not seeing him connected at all. Okay. Oh wait.
Just Google.
After purchasing the rights to Steeg's book in 1991, Steven Spielberg sought to produce a traditionally animated film adaptation, but John H. Williams convinced him to bring the project to the newly founded DreamWorks Pictures in 1994. Jeffrey Kazakhstan, not the last name, but I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Along with friends William and Aaron Warner, began developing Shrek in 1995. Following the studio's purchase of the rights from Spielberg. So Spielberg had the rights to Shrek.
Whoa.
Then Chris Farley, who was cast as a voice actor for the title character, recording most of the required dialogue, but then he died in 1997 before his work on the film was finished. And so that Mike Myers was hired to replace him and then gave Shrek his characteristic Scottish accent. I'm so sorry. I am gooped right now.
I did know the Chris Farley thing, and I did
How?
know Mike Myers actually filmed the entire movie in like a regular voice, and then was like, I don't like it, and then redid it all in a Scottish accent.
How have we not known? I cannot believe that we have Shrek
Did you
because
know
of Steven
also?
Spielberg.
So David Spade, close friend of Chris Farley.
Yes.
When everything had been recorded for Shrek, they asked Chris Farley's brother, who was like very similar, knew how to imitate his voice, to finish the movie, and the brother couldn't do it. Like he was like, I can't. Like it's too much. So that's why Mike Myers.
But then what about David Spade?
Well, just because he's very close with the whole family.
But
That
what were
he
you saying
told the
about
story.
Oh, he told the story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, because you said David Spade, and I was like,
David Spade was telling the story on a podcast.
got it. Okay, shock. I cannot believe that Steven Spielberg was attached to Shrek.
Yeah.
Like, what an amazing legacy.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, sure. Shrek, of course. One of them was made into a Broadway musical, and
Yes.
it's not Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So that is Goonies is turning 40. That'd be a good movie to watch with your fam. Mm-hmm. Hey, you guys. If you were to say, what is you say, like, this is the most iconic line from Goonies?
What's the one I quote the most or the most iconic line?
Both.
The one that I quote the most is Data going, "That's what I said, booby trap."
Booby trap. Booby trap.
That's what I said, booby trap.
I love that so much. Okay. What's the more iconic one?
Ooh.
Because I have the one. Well, while you're thinking of that one, I'll tell you the one that I often quote. Broke? Broke? No, it's not broke. On the Rockabye Baby. When the power breaks.
The other one I really, really love, and I will do sometimes too, most iconic for me, is when Chunk sees the dead body in the fridge and he's just like,
and then this is the part that's really bad. I could quote Goonies. Like I loved Goonies so much. And what Martha Plimpton, isn't she in Goonies? That has to have been one of them.
I think so.
She is good because she was just in I just saw her in another show and I was like, oh dang, she's been around for a hot minute. Like she's had a long career. Yeah, which is kind of cool when you see people.
And it still makes me giggle. Like even when they're in the attic and Mouth puts his face through a painting and he's like, "Come here, kiss me, Mikey. Come here, big kiss."
Also, my nickname used to be Mouth in my family.
Oh, cute.
So, let's bring that up.
Yeah.
Talk about that in therapy. I haven't gone there a couple weeks since I've been in trials, so maybe that's why I've not been doing well.
Maybe that's why he spends so much on Labubu. He's gonna bring a blind box Labubu to his therapy.
I'm like, anyways, things are going well. Hey guys,
I'm like, no.
I'm full blown streaming. She's like, it's been 3 weeks. I'm like, anyways, let me just set this up. Hey, it's got a light, a ring light, and everything. All right. Now this is an interesting issue because you put this story in and you captioned it. You know what bland food needs? Poison.
Yes.
And I was like, poison? Bland food? Where is she going with this? But here's the headline from CBS News. Woman on trial for poison mushroom killing says she was trying to fix the bland meal. That's her defense.
Yeah.
Now, I've spent the last 11 days in court, minus Friday. And then I have more this upcoming week, and then I'm in trial again
Some would
the
say
week
struggling.
after. Some would say, one particular person did say I was struggling. Not really sure how we got there. So when we're brainstorming defenses, because the other thing I was going to say that we're watching is the Karen Reed trial, because the Reed trial is right now and it has to be finished this week. So if you're also just going to be tuning in, you got to focus.
Do you think she did it?
No,
I don't know what she did.
She didn't do it at all. The taillight doesn't. Oh, honey, I could do a deep dive.
Wait, is the Karen Reed one the one
where she backed into? The Commonwealth claims that she hit her boyfriend with her car.
Oh, this is the cop one, where he is friends with a bunch of cops.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the massive cover up.
Yes.
And the fact that there's the inconsistencies.
Yes. Okay.
The reaction.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yes, it's so big right now. I thought this was
like the Arizona one.
No, this one is the out of Canton, Baston, right outside of Baston.
Okay, Karen Reed didn't do it.
Karen Reed, she did not do it at all, but that's on the trial. Anyways, of all the defense strategies, this one somehow is bizarre. So an Australian woman is accused of serving poisonous death cap mushrooms in a dish that killed 3 of her 4 guests who ate it, spoke on Wednesday about the incident and detailed how she planned the meal. The prosecutors for the Supreme Court case in the state of Victoria says Erin Patterson, 50 years old, lured her guests to lunch in July of 2023 with a lie about having cancer before deliberately feeding them toxic fungi. But her lawyers say the tainted beef Wellington that Patterson served was a tragic accident caused by a mushroom storage mishap. Patterson denies murdering her estranged husband's parents, Don and Gail Patterson, and their relative Heather Wilkinson. The mother of 2 also denies attempting to murder her husband, Ian Wilkinson, who survived the meal. If convicted, Patterson would face his life up to 25 years. In a rare step for the defense to charge with murder, Patterson chose to speak on her own behalf in trial this week. On Wednesday, she spoke publicly for the first time, saying that she splurged on expensive ingredients and researched ideas to find something special to serve. She deviated from her chosen recipe to improve the bland flavor, she says. She said she believed she was adding dried fungi bought from an Asian supermarket from a container in her pantry, she told the court. Now I think there was a possibility Now I think this is her actual quote. Now I think there's a possibility that there were foraged ones in there as well. She had wild foraged mushrooms for years, and she told the court Tuesday that she had put some in her pantry weeks before the deaths, accidentally used them. And then she said that she felt hurt when Simon had told her the night before that he wasn't comfortable attending because she'd separated from her husband. But then she'd later told his relatives that she'd arranged the meal to discuss her health. She admitted this week that she never had cancer, but after a health scare, she told her in-laws that she did. And so in reality, Patterson said that she intended to have weight loss surgery, but she was too embarrassed to tell anybody and had planned to pretend to her in-laws that she was undergoing cancer treatment instead. I was ashamed of the fact that I didn't have control over my body or what I ate, a tearful Patterson said Wednesday, and I didn't want to tell anybody that I shouldn't have lied to them. So I just want to recap some of the facts, like
so
objective
some of the
facts. The facts.
Yeah.
Separates from her ex and says, you know who I want to have over for dinner? My ex, his parents, and their friend.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make beef Wellington. Oh, what a treat.
Oh, what a treat.
How am I going to get them here, though? Okay, so she lies and says she has cancer, and she wants to talk about having cancer with them, and admits it then. And then she says, oh, but it was only for weight loss surgery. But how am I going to, I'm too embarrassed to say it's weight loss surgery. So I'll just say I'm getting chemo. Yeah. And then everyone will be sympathetic to me. And so, but I need to tell them the best way to tell them, ding dong, beef Wellington. Okay. Amazing. But God, that recipe's a little bland. And so I think I'm going to use some of these really yummy mushrooms. I have two options. I have the one that has an actual label on it from an FDA-approved store, I'm assuming, or whatever the Australian equivalent is, or my baggie. She's like, you know what this recipe needs? A weirdo sprinkle of this. She does not eat the beef Wellington.
She does, actually.
No, I thought she said she didn't eat. Oh,
she does. She did. She does eat it. She threw up after the meal, which she's like, I do regularly.
I regularly throw up after the meal.
Okay. So she says that she was not as affected, and she's like, and I wasn't as affected because I went to the hospital because I wasn't feeling good.
Right.
And they did it, and that's like their fault. Honestly, my
really
good bad advice.
It makes cooking shows look real weak.
Yeah, my good bad advice is stay delusional.
Yeah.
You'll probably go to jail for it, but stay delusional.
Yeah. Mine is, let's be real.
Yeah.
You're going to prison.
No, I love that she was like admitted to lying about cancer and then was like, but like I didn't, it was just a little bland.
I just need a little salt, pepper, and poisonous mushrooms I foraged. The other crazy thing is that she's like, I've been foraging for years.
So you've been collecting
poison for years and waiting on the right time to do it. Because also,
like, if you're admitting that you've been foraging for years, like, this wasn't just like, oh, I found these mushrooms and I wanted to look up what they were. You're admitting that you knew you've been foraging. So you understand what these are. Anybody who's been foraging for years doesn't just pick things without an understanding.
This is another example of like, you're a criminal and we should have known because you were choosing to go into the woods by yourself.
Yeah, and that's criminal behavior.
That's criminal behavior. Who just goes into the woods? Oh my gosh. This is an open court, so I can tell you.
Okay, please.
One of my trials this week, my little short one. I'm like making sure I can say all of it because it came out in open court.
Yeah.
In the springtime, at one point, mom goes missing. They're divorced. Mom goes missing. Mm-hmm. Cars found outside of a reservoir. Her phone is missing, never to be found. She disappears, ends up surfacing, like a whole watch party, the police, helicopter, search dogs. She then, the next day, like, people say that they saw the random woman, like, wandering up to different campsites asking if they needed a friend. And then she disappeared. They've ended up finding the car. She ended up just going back home, and she was found in her bed, like, the next day. And I represent Dad. I don't represent her. And Dad was, like, pretty concerned, like, what's going on? Yeah. So he's writing her, being like, hey, people are calling me. This is, like, the police have called me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, were you on psychedelics? And she's like, no, but my energy healer gave me bath salts, and I'm not trying that stuff again. Now, for those of you that don't know, bath salts is a drug.
Yeah.
It's not Epsom salts on
No.
like a lukewarm tub of water.
No, and
it's like an
and
actual like these are the people that like eat each other. They did on bath salts because their brains are
bath
circadian.
salts are.
So she gets on the stand and her lawyer's like, so what actually happened in there? She's like, I just went on a hike. I just went on a little hike and I got lost. And the judge is like, sorry, you're saying it was just like a hike? Yeah, it just was like a hike. Like, it wasn't a big deal. It's totally being blown out of proportion. Well, we had the text message. We put them on the screen of her saying, no, it's not psychedelics, but my energy healer gave me bath salts. I'm not doing that again. So we just left it on the screen as like a strategy, whatever. So in the ruling, because my guy won, got what he wanted. In the ruling, the judge had said, I'm ruling this way in part because I just don't find mom credible because of how she tried to talk about this story. And so my advice generally is just be honest.
Yeah.
The lie, not credible.
No.
Most lies are not credible.
The thing
And
is,
the
like,
crazier the lie, the less credible.
Well, that's the thing too, is like the second your hair today is like it's just gorgeous.
Well, I know. That's why I keep wearing a hat. But I have to take it off because I hate how... Does your head get scratchy
itchy,
on hats?
yeah.
My head gets so itchy on hats.
Yeah.
So...
No, the second I catch you in one lie, just know that like everything that you say following that, like this lady, I was lying about cancer, but I did not kill them.
Yeah, no, I was lying about what I fed them but it was just an accident. I should have been using the other mushrooms. Like, why are you having poisonous mushrooms in your house anyway? Mm-hmm. I'm like, what utility would that ever have?
Murder.
I guess people are like doing, murder. Yeah, it's a crime. Okay. Speaking of murder, we're not wanting to murder turtles anymore because we want to. Did you want an opportunity to clear that up? I understand you got some.
No, like I do love turtles.
Yeah, Stephanie got some pushback on the socials from
You guys,
people
I
who
just
were
freaking like a straw. Okay,
who were saying,
kill
"Wow,
me.
I can't believe you don't like the turtles."
Kill me.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who has the best not plastic straws? Tsunami.
What are they?
I don't know what they are, but they're not plastic and they're not paper. And they're like almost like brown. I don't know what they are made out of. I should ask next time I'm there. But listen, all of you should get like Tsunami and get these straws.
Well, no, to really prove that you like turtles, you put a turtle story in our feed.
Yeah, no, I love turtles.
So we want to talk about Dilly Dally.
I'm a turtle.
Turtle. I like turtles.
Exactly.
Dilly Dally is a turtle who got in a fight with some animal. I think the article just said predator, if my memory serves. And lost a fin. He just got stolen little fin, and so he was released, or she, I think it's a he, but the turtle, gender nonconforming, was pride. We don't care. Them went back. They got thrown back into the ocean, and them liked it.
And their name is Dilly Dally.
Dilly Dally is
and
the
that
turtle.
I think was the most important part of this, because what a cute name for
that's
a turtle.
like one of the streets close to where I live is Dawdle Lane.
Yeah.
And so it's like Dilly Dally to Dawdle, that whole vibe.
So yeah, my advice is like save the turtles.
Yeah, our advice is we just really want to really want to support the environment. Mm-hmm. If you get out there and go on a hike. Mm-hmm. And then pick up trash away. Pick up trash.
Yeah, throw your trash away. Recycle.
And clip off all of your 6-pack things if you're out in the lakes.
Uh-huh.
And so that it doesn't hurt the turtles and the fish and the fishies and the birds and the bees, the beavers.
You cut
and
up those
don't
soda
kill
things.
Bees. Protect the bees.
Plant a garden. For flowers.
Nectar.
You know what? Actually start beekeeping like we are.
Right. We are beekeeping.
We are going to be beekeeping.
And then create a sanctuary like we've done.
Sell your own honey.
I had two quarts I sold. Mm-hmm. And then compost.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everything.
Yeah, like poop
Zero
in the garden.
waste.
Use your waste. Don't flush. No showers. No running water.
Well.
No electricity.
No
electricity. Just conserve for the ozone layer.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
And then vegan only. Okay, maybe not all vegan, but
Listen, you
just
can do other
be
things.
responsible.
Yeah, you can.
I draw the line at veganism. I'll raise freaking bees before I stop eating cheese.
No, these are probably vegan.
No.
Maybe not the
these are?
marshmallows.
It should
That
say
depends.
vegan.
Is
I feel
milk?
like vegan food, they wear it as their freaking personality.
No, is
This
milk?
contains milk, wheat, and soy.
But is
And
milk?
eggs.
Is milk vegan? Like, can you not have milk if you're
You
vegan?
can't. It has to be from a nut. You can't have like cow's milk.
Oh, it contains milk, soy, and wheat. Oh, egg. May contain egg. I just
Also,
don't know if milk is,
I feel like they
is like
should
non-vegan.
know what it contains. They shouldn't say it may contain. Don't you know what it contains?
Well, that's because of cross-contamination. Like, if it's made in the same factory with something that contains eggs, they're like, well, there might be eggs in there. Will you turn our electricity back on?
Mm-hmm. And then we have to wrap up the episode. I have to go to the bathroom.
Classic.
Classic me. All right. Anything else you want to go over?
Happy Father's Day to Shmevin Farrow. You're the best.
And Heffrey Hawker.
Uh-huh.
And Stephen and Traven. We really are surrounded by so many really good dads.
And you.
Oh, thank you, babe.
You're one of the best dads I know.
That's really kind. Thank you. I love being a dad.
You have like a very unique circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
And I very much appreciate that, given that like I also have a unique circumstance.
We're
and
unique queens.
You make the literal best of every situation.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
a very
you.
good dad.
That's, I think, I saw a statistic that says the weekend of Father's Day, every minute a dad will kill themselves. Maybe it's an hour.
Huh?
It's something crazy.
Okay.
It's like, it's just saying that there's so much pressure on dads and they're often forgotten. We really over-index on Mother's Day. It's one of the biggest cards, flowers, purchases. Father's Day sometimes just gets forgotten. Mm-hmm. And I think dads have a lot of pressure. I think moms have a different kind of pressure. I'm not saying if one has it, the other doesn't. But I think we should acknowledge that dads feel a significant amount of financial pressure to take care of kids. They feel social pressures, that they're not having good work-life balance.
Man,
that they're
that toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I think that there's like, I do think that there's...
Patriarchy gets you every
time.
time.
The patriarchy gets even dads that are just trying hard.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge advocate for dads and giving them an equal seat at the parenting table. And I think that also means like we got to be celebrating them. And so please be sure to celebrate the dads in your life because I think they need it.
Yeah.
And we sometimes act like we don't and it's more stoic, but be specific. Write them a card and say what you're specifically grateful that they did for
and
your
we
family.
got like really good dads.
We have really good dads. I love Kevin. I love Jeff. They really are just like, I luck out. I get to work across the hall from my dad and we miss each other the past couple of weeks since I've been in trials so much. It's been sad. He came down on Wednesday of last week and he took one of the experts. And so I had to do another hearing. So he came in and pitch hit. I think I said it on the last episode, but it was just fun getting to be in court with my dad and an area where we both love, to be professionally and also just getting to see each other do our thing. So happy Father's Day to all our dads and a major happy Father's Day to Stephen, who has signed on to take, kind of like you, as a step parent to kids that are not biologically yours, to choose to love them. Is watching that in your person is just remarkable. And I love that. And yeah, we're really lucky. We have really good dads. Yeah. And we know that not everybody has that. And so we're not trying to,
we're not bragging.
We're not bragging and trying to be difficult, but
it would be easy.
It would be like, these, okay, we are lucky for our fathers.
It would be so easy to brag if we were going to.
Well, good reminder. So happy Father's Day to everybody.
Don't forget to celebrate your dads.
Celebrate your dads. Tell them how much you love them, what they mean to you. And with that, we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.